It's now time for your character's whole entire world to come to a drastic change. I'm going to show you how to do that in this episode. Welcome to Writing Wednesday. My name is Michael Martin. I'm a writer and a coach for writers at Storywriter Academy, and this is episode 4 of How to Write a Story Step by Step. This one is called The First Plot Point, and it categorically ends all of the setup that we just did in the other videos. And now we enter a new realm. But let's not jump ahead. We're now going to cover the first plot point. The antagonistic forces come fully into play here, defining the goals and the stakes and the obstacles for your protagonist. This is the first time the meaning and implications of the antagonistic force are seen. The first plot point categorically ends the setup portion of your story and brings about a strong and definite change of playing field. We abruptly enter a new realm and we will not ease into it. J.K. Rowling spends all of Chapter 4 of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone on the first plot point. It's literally Hagrid knocking down the door, delivering Harry's birthday cake, and saying, "You're a wizard, Harry." Because essentially, Hagrid is our antagonist in this scene. Now, of course, these days, we all love the crap out of Hagrid. But at that moment in the story, Hagrid is the one providing the conflict, and thus driving the story into a new direction. To look at it through another lens though, this is when Frodo and Gandalf are in Bilbo's house discussing the One Ring to rule them all. The ring itself is the antagonist in that scene because it's creating direct opposition to what Frodo wants. It's sending him onto this new scary quest that he never wanted to go on.
One ring to bring them all, and in the darkness, find them.
In Black Panther, Okoye delivers the first plot point when she reveals that Ulysses Claw has stolen a Wakandan artifact from a museum. It's a simple scene that does the job of driving our hero into a new conflict. Larry Brooks, author of Storyfix, describes the first plot point like this. It's the first moment our view of the story's primary antagonistic force, the bad guy. Full doesn't mean that the true nature of the antagonistic force is complete, but rather it's the first time the hero and the reader actually gets a notion of the nature and extent of the opposing force. We may have seen the antagonistic force before, but now we understand what it wants and how what it wants creates opposition to what the hero wants. Conflict. So how can you apply this to your story? I recommend starting this section off with writing 10 ways your antagonist can create conflict for your protagonist. That's the way I always start. And let me say up front, you won't use all 10 ideas that you come up with. You won't need to. You just need one really good one. The best idea you can come up with. Which is why I recommend you strive for 10 ideas first. You'll discard the other 9, or if they're really good enough, save them for another project. In Claudia Azula Altucher's book, Become an Idea Machine, she opens the book by saying, "The way to have good ideas is to get close to killing yourself. It's like weightlifting. When you lift slightly more than you can handle, you get stronger." See, to write better stories, you have to exercise your idea muscle. Your first idea will always be really easy to come up with, which is why it's probably gonna be crap. Because your first idea is usually the weakest. Your second idea might be better, but still might not be all that great. The third idea might be an improvement upon the first two, but still not all that special. You still might feel like anybody could have come up with that idea. When coming up with a fourth idea, many writers begin to expel lots of mental energy trying to break through that wall. Your brain will start sweating, you'll freak out, and you'll hate the process altogether, and you'll probably want to give up. But if you're brave and admit to feeling like crap in the moment and still charge towards the finish line, you'll get to your fifth idea. A second win. And beyond that fifth idea, you've entered a new realm where very few writers will ever go. This is where your best ideas will come from. So just to clarify, in order to discover your first plot point, list 10 ways your antagonist can create conflict for your protagonist. And out of those 10 ideas, choose the best one. And also ask yourself these questions. What is your protagonist's catalyst? The catalyst is the life-changing event that knocks down the house of cards. It's a turning point, an event that creates desire in your protagonist. The reader will get a glimpse of your main character's longing or need. Also, what is your story's inciting incident? The inciting incident is a game-changing event that occurs during part 1. the setup, which we covered in the other videos. It often leads to a decision during the first plot point. Think of it as a change of plans. This event forces the character to make a choice and creates a new desire with a specific situation or goal that has a visible endpoint. Visible meaning it can't be abstract, it needs to be concrete, something that you can visually, if it were put on camera, you could see the character achieving this thing. And the goal has to be something the character can't fully achieve in their current identity. It simply brings them into a new situation where your character attempts to adjust to their longing or need. Which leads to our final question. What does your character debate? What is their dilemma? Your character meets a point of no return and must make a choice. But the problem for them is that there are no good choices going forward, and they definitely cannot go backwards. But you can go backwards if you download the ebook version of this video series. I'll put the link in the description. You can download it for free, follow along, and take notes. And you can prepare yourself for the next episode, which is titled The Antagonist. It's all about your bad guy, your villain, or whoever or whatever is causing the conflict in your story. Thank you for watching this episode. My name is Michael Martin, and I'll see you on the next one.